My kids have a nickname for me. It's called the Grinch. So I come here to prove that I'm not that guy.
The huge holiday festival that you probably don't even know about. Plus, before there was Nordstrom, there was Frederick and Nelson.
I married a wife. Actually, I married two wives, and they both worked at Frederick and Nelson.
Employees of the iconic department store reunite and talk about the good old days. And
they don't stand by the water cooler Monday mornings and like, hey, this is my weekend.
Meet the local man who's all business during the day and defying gravity at night. Seattle Refined starts now. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Garth Swanson. You know, there's something special about the Northwest this time of year. There is no shortage of holiday spirit and festive events, just like down here at Pike Place Market. You may think it's all centered here in Seattle, but there's a place an hour north of here that really brings it on. Refined's Brandon Bernstead jumped into a 2019 Land Cruiser headed towards Stanwood and said, let's go places.
For this Toyota adventure, I needed a car that was both luxurious and powerful. And Toyota came through with the brand new 2019 Land Cruiser.
We're heading out to Stanwood to check out the Lights of Christmas Festival, which I hear is one of the best Christmas light displays in the entire Pacific Northwest. Yeah, we hit a little traffic on the way out of Seattle, but if you're gonna be stuck in traffic, you wanna be stuck in this Land Cruiser.
The Land Cruiser boasts a 9-inch full-color touchscreen, heated leather seats, and an expansive cabin with serious cargo space. The perfect ride for a holiday adventure.
My kids have a nickname for me. It's called the Grinch. So I come here to prove that I'm not that guy.
Yes, they say a visit to the Lights of Christmas caused that Grinch's heart to grow 3 sizes in a day. And it's easy to see why. With more than 1 million lights spread over 15 acres, this is the largest holiday light display in the Pacific Northwest.
22 years ago is when we first kicked off this event. It truly is a yearly tradition for many, many people. There's something here for everyone. There's gift shops, there's food, there's activities for kids, there's beautiful light displays, and it just creates a lot of warm family memories and shared experiences together, and so people make it part of their holiday cheer.
The lights are just really cool, and it gets me in the Christmas spirit.
Do you feel like you're more in the holiday spirit after coming here?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
I get to spend time with my family.
With so much to see and do, sometimes the best way to travel is by train.
Well, it's awesome. It takes you on a nice little loop around the lights, and you get to see people and wave to people, and it just brings you back to childhood.
Joyce Zeigen volunteers at the festival every year. She and I hopped aboard the Warm Beach Express to pay a visit to Bruce the Spruce.
So let me get this straight. There is a tree that talks?
Yes. He will talk to you. And he knows what you're doing. He has eyes, he has a mouth, and he has ears.
What's going on, Bruce?
Not much. Just don't stump me, that's all.
Turns out Bruce has jokes. Most of them tree-related.
You know why mountains are so funny, though, right?
Why's that?
Because they're hilarious.
Bruce, you're the man. Thank you.
Well, I won't needle you anymore with these jokes.
They're the best, man.
Okay. Well, have a tremendous Christmas.
Thank you.
See you later.
As I continued to explore amid the twinkling lights, the sea of smiling faces, I couldn't help but feel the magic of the holidays. And before I headed out, there was one more person I had to visit.
Santa, what makes the festival so special?
All my children. All the children are so special. Their eyes, when you look in your eyes, they show you where their heart is. And that's what I like best about the Lights of Christmas.
That wraps up another holly jolly Toyota adventure.
To learn more about the 2019 Land Cruiser, head to buyatoyota.com. If you still aren't in the holiday spirit yet, just head over to SeattleRefined.com. Our holiday section has everything you need this time of year. We've got tons of holiday gift guides, family adventures, and even shows to see this holiday season. To check it out, head to SeattleRefined.com/holiday. You know, I really love my coworkers here at Refine, and I would like to think I know them pretty well. But after this next story, I realized that you never know what someone's true passion may be. And I also learned never judge a book by its cover.
Thank you for calling Amica Insurance. This is Randy Hawkins. How may I help you?
It's just after 8 a.m. And like most people, Randy Hawkins is already hard at work.
You get a chance to look at that file I sent you?
Typical workday, I'm answering, questions from our customers. I'm helping out coworkers, reviewing files, that sort of thing, until 5 o'clock. So it's an 8 to 5 corporate gig here at Amica, but it's great.
Randy in the office is very calm, cool, collected. You never see him like one way or the other to any two extremes.
Give me a second.
You've met Randy Hawkins, mild-mannered, model employee. Now meet Carl Randers, pro wrestler.
Stiff left hand, lays it a step.
Of course, coworkers talk. I don't open with that in conversation. I don't stand by the water cooler on Monday mornings and hey, it's my weekend.
You see him at his show, he's quite a whole other side of Randy that you'll see. So it's definitely surprising.
I've been a fan of wrestling my whole life, so it's just something I've always wanted to do. I'm also big into comic books, so in my mind, professional wrestling is the closest that people can be to superheroes. We've got our colorful outfits, our different moves that are like our superpowers, and just it's a good way for people to escape and be entertained.
Randy may have gotten into wrestling because he wanted to be the hero, but he ended up becoming a villain. Carl Randers is what the wrestling fans call a heel.
I'm a bad guy. My job is to get the boos from the crowd and really get them behind my opponent. My in-ring persona is honestly just an extension of my own real persona. I just try and magnify all the things that get on my nerves. That's kind of my character, just constantly annoyed.
Professional wrestling is a nomadic profession. Randy has traveled all over the region pursuing his passion. He's dressed in bar bathrooms, hallways, wrestling in front of just a few dozen people, or at big events like tonight's. This is Defy Wrestling, one of the top independent promotions in the Northwest.
The crowd at Defy is probably the best crowd in the Pacific Northwest.
The fans that are just completely bonkers out there, they're showing a lot of love. The wrestlers feed off of that. I've talked to a lot of these guys and gals after their matches, and they say it's just not like that everywhere.
Many of the athletes tonight hope competing for Defy will help them get noticed by bigger promotions like World Wrestling Entertainment, the WWE. But even making it at this level takes serious commitment. Randy started training in 2011 under legendary coach Buddy Wayne. He didn't compete in his first match until 2013.
It was a matter of if he was going to put his name on someone, he was going to make sure that they were over-prepared for everything they might come across in pro wrestling.
Wayne passed away last year, but his influence opened doors for Randy. He's made a couple of appearances for the WWE, and at a recent Defy event, Randy notched one of the biggest wins of his career over independent wrestling superstar Colt Cabana. Of course, the question he gets most often is the sport he loves fake?
It's more real than people think. The bumps, the bruises, the hitting, a lot of that is real and very, very painful. So regardless of whether or not the outcomes are predetermined, the action you see is real, and it has real consequences on our bodies and emotionally. And so and I think that's the main thing with wrestling fans today is they know that and they understand and respect that.
On this night, Randy and his tag team partner lose. But in the world of wrestling, losing is all relative.
Tonight was a good night. We did our jobs out there, kicked the show off and got the crowd hot and ready for the rest of the night.
Some know him as Randy Hawkins, others Carl Randers. But those two personas are really one and the same. In reality, he's one man putting in the work, doing his job, in pursuit of a dream.
I think my goal, whether that's professionally or even in wrestling, I just want to be respected by my peers and go as far as I can within, my skill set.
If you want to see Defy Wrestling in action, they have a huge event tomorrow night, Defy at Washington Hall in Seattle. Seattle Refined is just getting started.
So good to see you.
We take a walk down memory lane with former employees of Frederick and Nelson. Plus, it's the ultimate winter comfort food, where to find the best chili in town. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm Gard Swanson. You know, for more than 100 years, the name Frederick and Nelson was synonymous with high-end luxury shopping right here in the Northwest. Frederick shut its doors for the final time a quarter-century ago. And while the iconic department store may be gone, it is certainly not forgotten. And that's especially true for a family of former employees who get together once a year to celebrate special memories. At first glance, this scene looks like a typical holiday office party. There's mixing and mingling as people come together, catching up, and connecting over festive food and drinks.
So good to see you.
But for these former employees of Seattle's flagship downtown Frederick and Nelson store, this annual soiree is something special. While it may be an office party, these folks haven't actually worked together for at least 25 years. The iconic department store closed its doors in 1992. Como News was there as longtime employees said so long, but not goodbye.
I feel very sentimental.
Tell me why.
Well, I worked for the store for a long time, and it's been wonderful.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice summer. The memories of this special place are still very vivid.
Well, they had everything. At least my parents, we used to go at least once a year for back to school, and that was your one trip to the store for the whole year. It was a real institution. Everybody did it, and that's where you went. You went to Frederick's. It was the store.
Classy. They were. They were. Of all the department stores that I went in, even when I was younger, Frederick and Nelson was my favorite, and my mom used to take us there all the time.
It was the glamour. It was the sense of prestige. It was the premium department store, and people made it their visit to Seattle during Christmas and special occasions.
Besides the beautiful merchandise, Janet Bell remembers the mouth-watering aroma of frangos filling the air.
Made in the store, yeah, on the 10th floor.
In the main store?
In the main store downtown.
And now people gather to share their stories and precious keepsakes from the past.
So this is my new employee handbook that they gave me when I got a job at Frederick and Nelson. And I want you to know that you're out of compliance because you're wearing jeans.
This man wore a vintage Frederick's doorman's uniform his son scored on eBay. It all brings back bittersweet memories. And then there are the photos.
Well, we have a very good memento of Frederick and Nelson dated April 14th, 1943. As you can see, it's only four floors. It was 10 floors when we worked there. We both worked in the executive office from 1978 till early 90s.
I had never worked with women before, and I was a little nervous, and I came in after a 20-year hiatus raising my family, and I found that it's the greatest group of women. It was such a wonderful surprise and treat for me.
Many friendships were made at Frederick's, and lots of love matches too.
Yeah, I married a wife. Actually, I married two wives, and they both worked at Frederick and Nelson.
Seattle Times reporter Nicole Broder has covered this annual celebration for years.
Everyone has a story, and you think about the way things used to be done, in not only in retail but in the city, and it's amazing. It's fascinating. So yeah, it's fun. It's a legacy.
Turns out the real treasures that folks found at Frederick and Nelson aren't things you can fit in a box or a bag.
I made some great friends. I have some that are my lifetime friends now.
It isn't like you see them every week or whatever, but it's just good memories.
They care about each other. As people have gotten older and they've reached out to each other to help them in need, it's pretty amazing of having all these friends for so long.
Do you have a special Frederick and Nelson memory? Drop us a line at hello@seattlerefined.com and let us know. Coming up,
Being 25 is it's good, but it's kind of weird.
our awesome intern gets a little help on life after Refined. Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Gert Swanson. Well, some of you remember your 20s as all fun and games, but it's also the time to start thinking about more adult stuff like finances, taxes, and of course, health insurance. It can all be really confusing though, but thanks to our sponsor, Washington Health Plan Finder, there's one less thing to worry about.
My internship's amazing.
Jordan Blaine is a stellar Seattle Refined intern. She's a hard worker, always on time, and is on the right track when it comes to her career. But Jordan admits being 20-something isn't easy.
Being 25 is it's good, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of like adulting 101. I'm old enough to know some things, but young enough where I don't know a lot of things. Well, health insurance. I have to get my own soon and know nothing about that process.
We want to make sure Jordan is fully prepared after her internship, including all of that adulting 101 stuff. That's why we hooked her up with a health insurance navigator during open enrollment for Washington State's Health Exchange. No question was off limits.
So I'm a pretty healthy girl. This is a stupid question, but can I go without getting insurance?
No, not stupid at all. It's pretty common, actually, that a lot of people see that as an option, and it is an option, but it is risky, especially since you're just starting out, getting established financially. You wouldn't want to jeopardize that with an unexpected large medical bill. A good place to start would be accessing the website, the Washington Health Plan Finder, WA Health Plan Finder. And there you can browse plans to see an estimate of what that might cost you. And there is a feature now on the Washington Health Plan Finder website called Smart Plan Finder. And we can use information about how you've used your health care in the past and where you might want to go in the future. And that feature will actually direct you to the plans that might best fit you. And there's also an app called the WA Plan Finder that you could get on your phone to look at some options.
What's your best advice for someone like me who's just so intimidated by the whole insurance process?
You'll want to get in as soon as possible so you have enough time and don't put the stress on yourself to make those decisions, because the last 2 weeks of open enrollment in December do get very busy with a lot of people trying to get in last minute.
So basically it sounds like I need health insurance and I need it now, so I should not delay any longer.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a great idea, and I'd be happy to give you my phone number and my address to my office if you'd like to sit down and meet with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time is running out for open enrollment. It ends this Saturday, December 15th. To learn more, head to seattlerefined.com. We'll be right back. But first, this holiday season, your Western Washington Honda dealers are partnering with Northwest Harvest for an incredible food drive, and the need is great. 1 in 9 Washingtonians are food insecure, meaning they don't have access to enough food to feed their families. That's where Northwest Harvest comes in.
We provide food to over 375 meal programs, clinics, high-needs schools, food banks all over the state. Our vision is to end hunger in Washington State. And so that's why partnerships like the one we have with Honda is so important, because it really takes the entire community in order to feed those that need it.
Donating is easy. All you have to do is bring non-perishable food items to your local Honda dealer and drop them in these easy-to-find boxes. Or visit Woodland Park Zoo's Wild Lights this Saturday and drop off your donations at the Western Washington Honda Dealers tent at the main gate west entrance. No donation is too big. No donation is too small.
Everything has an impact, and at the core of it is caring for your community and wanting to be able to reach out and make that connection.
We are wrapping things up here on Refined, but one more thing before we go, and this one is for all you chili lovers out there. Since it's so cold outside lately, Refined wanted to warm things up at the best chili spots in Seattle. We've compiled a list of the 5 best places where chili is king. From Mike's Chili Parlor in Ballard to the Texas-style watering hole called Slim's Last Chance in Georgetown. To check out the list, head to our website. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Gert Swanson. Thanks so much for joining us here at Pike Place Market. I'm Gert Swanson. We'll see you next time right back here on Seattle Refined.